yes, I'm aware this is not a question, but it's something that I think needs to be in this video series because I haven't heard enough excitement about it as I've been talking to prospective clients on the phone. I haven't heard the excitement around list building and why list building is so important to the longevity of your business. So here is reason number one. If you are trying to have a product launch in your business, you want to do product launches. If you don't have a list, who do you launch to? It's like standing on a stage and speaking to an empty audience. No one's there to receive your message. But if you have a list, then you know every time you want to launch something new, you have an audience prepared to receive whatever it is that you have to offer. So it's the starting place for a launch. You've got to have someone to launch to. Here are some other reasons, though, is having a launch attracts partnership. So if you want to partner with someone else, then they know that on some level you can reciprocate the promotions because you've got a list and they've got a list. They also have a sense, that prospective partner has a sense of the size, scale, and momentum of your business. Because you've got a list, you have an audience that follows you, right? That leads to your authority. A list helps you get feedback. So if you're concerned or you have a question about what the title of your new book should be, then you can simply ask your audience. If you want to know what program you should create next, ask your audience. You know, if you're thinking about partnering up with a certain number of people, ask your audience and who they'd like to see you do some work with. You can get the feedback, but if you don't have a list, you won't get that feedback. You also rely less on traffic. So if you're doing SEO or you're buying traffic or whatever your strategy happens to be, if you have a list, you can worry a lot less about those kinds of strategies. I'm not saying stop doing them, but I'm saying now that you have a list, you know that you'll get some level of traffic to whatever that new thing is that you are creating. It makes follow-up so much easier. So especially if you sell expensive programs, you know it's very hard to get someone to buy the program the first time they meet you or the first time they see you. You know you have to do some follow-up. Well, if they're on your email list, then you can follow up with them strategically. If you don't have an email list, that means you've got to call them, maybe, and you've got to call them every so often. They may or may not answer the phone, so forth and so on. So having an email list just makes follow-up so much easier. Last thing here is that it builds a real relationship. So because you are talking with someone over time, then they get to know you better and better as time goes on. And some of those folks are going to really fall in love with you and be your raving fans. They're going to say fantastic things about you. If you don't have a list, it's much more difficult to create that level of energy and emotion and relationship with people. So there are so many, and there's more than this if I chose to go on, but there's so many values or reasons why to have a list and to really be excited about your list building. To not do these things or to not build your list is to miss out on these benefits. So build your list. Keep building your list.
Hey, before you go, have you ever heard of BizAccountabilityClub.com? No? What do you mean? How is that possible? Okay, look, in any case, if you're serious about adding launches to your business, here's a secret. People who do launches have people to help them do launches. Someone on your team has to be accountable for all the details in a launch campaign. Does that make sense? Good. This club is like having a launch consultant on retainer without actually having to have them on retainer. So here's the part where I stop talking. Visit the page below, BizAccountabilityClub.com. Check everything out. Make a decision. I'll see you soon.